is I have returned from the future to bring you warnings of the impending apocalypse. It's tough out there. It is tough. Help me. I'm glitching. Oh, my cartoon boobies are shaking. Look at them go. There we go. Well, no one is here. Maybe everyone's still so scared from my super scary stream that I did earlier today. Hello, Ricochet. Good to see you. Let's do the New York Times thingy-mabobs. Yay. I tried. How many outfits do I have? I think I've got 5. I think I have 5. Kind of like in real life. I think I have 5 outfits in real life. There we go. Oh wait, I think I need this one. I renamed all of like my scenes on OBS and I keep on getting them confused, but I think this is the right one with the background music. There we go. Oh, that one's the right one. Okay, I'm dumb. It's all right. Oh, I'm in the void. Look, I'm in the void, everybody. I fell into the void. Yay. All right. Spelling bee. Spelling bees for dyslexics are super fun. Oh, I can see Braille, I think. We have R, I, Y, A, T, and L, and we have to use the letter B. How do you spell Braille? Braille? Nope. Clearly not. Oh, we have labia again. We have labia. Yay! What about tabby? Can we have tabby? Oh, we have a very feline list of words. If you know what I mean. I should have had a longer nap. My cat would not. I lied down to have a nap and my cat would not let me get up, and I had to get up and eat and she wouldn't let me. So I just ended up like having a very small dinner because she was too sooky and she wouldn't get up. And I blame her for all my problems in life. Baddie. We can have the word baddie. Oh, we're done. We're done. What did everybody do this afternoon? Anything interesting? Anything interesting? I had a nap. I had a interesting dream. That was about it. Gaming. Fair enough. Perch for a family photo. I think that's a mantle. I think people put stuff on mantles. Nope, it doesn't fit. Frame? Maybe frame. Bernard with a variety show from 1967 to 1978. That's way too niche. You spent half the day at Animag Maga today, and then train travel to and from there. Ooh. Ooh. Plant that yields a mezcal. Oh, that's the agave. I think that's that agave thingy. Is that one of those things that like people cosplay and go to? Because my friends I have a story. It's not my story though, so I probably shouldn't tell it. I do have a story, but let me just try and de-identify the information, because this isn't my story. This is like scandalous gossip from my personal life. Anyway, so I have a friend who's like a very nice man. He's a very just like, he's very like, I think he's might be autistic, but he's very sweet. He's a very sweet guy. And you know, he's just a normal guy, and he just wants to have a normal life with like, he wants a wife and he wants all the, you know, those things. Anyway, so he met a girl when he was overseas, and they got married, and she came to Australia, and you know, everything's going good. Like, they seem happy, you know. She's basically like a kept woman because she hasn't been working. He makes kind of decent coin, and she's always like cosplaying and like going to like this skating group, like she does like roller skating and stuff, and she's always like going to this group with her friends. Anyway, it turns out she was actually cosplaying to like go meet all these guys and travel around Australia to cheat on him, and she got caught, and now they're divorced. But I remember I was gonna ask her, because I don't have like that many close girlfriends in Melbourne. Like, I found it really hard. Whenever I have become friends with a girl in Melbourne, it's because they've been a lesbian and there's been like some crossed wires, but then I've ended up. So most of my friends that I have in Melbourne are like gay women that initially like wanted to hook up with me, and then I'm like, oh, I'm straight. Sorry. But we just became friends anyway. Because I'm really like dumb sometimes. I never think people are hitting on me, and then all my friends will be like, oh, that guy's hitting on you, and I'm like, no, he's not, he's just friendly. And they're like, why are you so dumb? I don't know, I just never think that people are hitting on me. But so I wanted to ask her, like, because she seemed to have all these friends, right? She seemed to have like just made all these friends really easily, but there were no friends. She was just like going and like banging people that weren't her husband. So it was very, very sad. It was very, very sad. I was like, because he like moves around for his job. He like is out of the office a lot. He has to go on like site a lot for his job. And he came around to my place, because he was in the area. He was in the city, so he like stopped by for a cuppa, and she used the loo and stuff. And he like told me, and my jaw was just on the ground, because I couldn't believe it. She was like, I would not have expected that from her ever. I would not have this blew my mind. I was gobsmacked. It was the gossip in like the friendship group for a while. We were like, but it wasn't really gossip. We were just like, holy crap, how could you do that to such a nice man? It was insane. But yeah. Because this girl was like going on overseas holidays like 3 times a year, because he was like taking her. She didn't work, and like she was just buying whatever she wanted all day. Like literally like the life that, you know, those manifestation girls want. It was like literally the life that all those girls want, like a rich, nice guy that's, you know, good looking and sweet and like all those things. And then yeah, she literally had the guy that went across his shelf. Yeah, that would make more sense. Deceptive ploys. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know. How a leap of faith might feel. Probably scary. I'm going to go for. Dutch seat of government with the... Is that The Hague? I think that's The Hague. I don't know if that's how you spell it. Probably not, because I'm dumb. What many pencils can do that magic markers can't. Erase. Oh. Holds dear. Loves. Something in bloodkin. Something in bloodkin. 6 across is Carol. Oh, cool. 8 across. Deceptive ploys are ruses. You've got to be kidding me. Yeesh. Oh. Stream title is crazy. Yeah, it's from The Simpsons when Homer Simpson doesn't want to go to jail for doing his taxes. He's like, I don't want to go to prison. They pee in a cup and throw it at you. I saw it in a movie once. I don't know. Look, guys, my brain is a crazy place. It is a crazy place. So, you know, we do what we can. But yeah, whenever anyone mentions cosplay like conventions or like anime things and stuff, I'm like, ooh, I wonder how many people are getting cheated on at this place. But I've done some cool cosplays. But if I show them, I'll like dox myself, so I can't show them. But I have. I enjoy it. It's fun. I like making clothes as well. Mr. Simpson, the government computer can process over 9 tax returns a day. Did you really think he wouldn't be found out? Exactly. Hyperbovian knows. Hyperbovian knows what's up. Yeah. I don't know. I can kind of like, I have a really good memory for like movie quotes. So I always quote The Simpsons. And I've noticed lately that like people under the age of like, I don't know, definitely people under the age of 20 are like, what are you talking about, lady? What are you talking about? It's really bad when you start to feel old, even when you're not old, but everybody around you makes you feel old. Stop it. The Simpsons is classic, as if you wouldn't watch it. Connections. Ooh, booty. I see the word booty. My eyes just went straight for the word booty. Do I have a problem? Yes, I do. All right. We have 16 words, 4 categories, and we have 16 words and there are 4 categories. We don't know what the categories are, so we have to form groups of 4 words and guess what ones might constitute a category. Does that make sense? Probably not. I did my best. To explain it. Booty, booty. Booty, booty. According to The Simpsons, dude, Trump dies in 2025. The Simpsons has been somewhat prophetic. They also predicted the towers falling down, right? 9/11. Yeah, it's pretty prophetic. Oh, one time Bluey, not, I think like 2 years ago now, Bluey predicted the state of origin score. They predicted that New South Wales would lose the decider, and they predicted the exact score. And I blame them for New South Wales losing. Screw you, Bluey. Screw you. My that year my rheumatologist was like, she was going over my blood results with me. This was like a few days after state of origin, and she was like, she's like, I'm just a little bit worried, like your liver, it's yada, yada, yada. And I said, oh, like it was state of origin. So I got really, really drunk. And she was like, oh, I saw that on Bluey. That's like the red team versus the blue team. And I was like, she's like, yeah, my toddler watches that. And I was like, yeah, I watched that too. It's a good show. It's a good show. I watch it because it's so wholesome and it's like so, I don't know, it's so nice. I feel like it heals my childhood wounds or something. But yeah, that's how you explain to Victorians what state of origin is. So you're like, have you seen the Bluey episode where it's the blue team versus the red team? The red team is Queensland and they're stupid, and the blue team is New South Wales and they're good. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And that's how it works. I don't know. Carafe. Decanter. I feel like carafe, decanter. I feel like this is something to do with alcohol. I'm not like cultured enough. Maybe not. Booty, curtain, tall, cleft. Carafe, decanter, glass, bottle. That's what I was thinking. But I feel like it's a trick. Sometimes they trick you. Sometimes they do something really obvious because it's a trick. Gotta be careful. They're very sneaky at the New York Times. They're very, very sneaky people. Not gonna lie, you don't understand NRL, but you think you can recognize when someone's winning. Yeah, when the score for the team is for a team is higher, that means that they're winning. No, you just have to run the ball over the line, and then you have to kick the ball through the goalpost. It's pretty easy to work out. I'm sorry. Ask stupid questions, get stupid answers. What can I say? King, garter, coral, rattle are snakes. Oh, they are. They are. I think that's going to be it, actually. Coral snake, rattlesnake. Garter, garter, garter. Garter, garter, garter. King. Kinds of snakes. I think cleft means split, right? Because when people have like a cleft palate, it's when like their philtrum, like their lip and philtrum don't develop properly. Cleft, split, torn, cleft, split. Is there another one? Booty, decanter, close, cold, glass, curtain, bottle, carafe. Nah, maybe not. Split cheeks. They're all split cheeks. I mean, it does work. Do we feel like they were feeling a little bit frisky at the New York Times? A little bit Would they dare do that? Your brother has a cleft? Yeah. Has he had surgery on it? One away. We're one away. What one of the... Because I know a lot of plastic surgeons volunteer, like they will do cleft palate surgery for free. I still think that's something along this line. I just can't work out what the other one could be. He had surgery when he was born. Oh, that's good that they did it. They did it really soon. Maybe close, as in the sides close together. No, okay, we can't make any more reckless guesses. We have to try and think. I didn't watch the game today because I was scared, but and also I was streaming, but GWS are in the top 4, so going into the finals top 4, so that's good. We'll see. It would be so good if Western Sydney won. Rent means torn, does it? Ooh. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. See, I was on the right track. I just didn't know what that was. So what's curtain cold closed booty theme? I do have some ideas, but I don't think they're appropriate for a YouTube or Twitch audience. This is definitely conjuring up some unseen seemly images, but I'm trying trying not to be a weirdo. Blah. Glass, bottle, carafe, decanter, hold liquids. Yeah, that was my initial thought, but I was like, feels like it's gonna be... Ah, wine vessels. There you go. It was right. I didn't trust it because it seemed like the obvious one. Curtain, cold, close booty. Ooh. Oh, booty call, close call. All right, well. Booty call. That's so rude. Booty calls are so rude. Why would you do that? The worst thing is when you break up with a guy and then he tries to booty call you. Excuse me, sir. How dare you? How dare you? Show some goddamn respect, okay? People are so rude. People have no manners. Disgusting behavior. What can I say? Disgusting behavior. Why are people so ill-mannered these days? This is why we have to find ghost boyfriends, because at least they come from an era where there were manners, okay? And you know, we need like a gold mining boyfriend. A ye oldie time person. I was trying to find like some stupid news stories because they were like really fun the other day, but apparently nothing funny happened on the weekend. Apparently nothing funny happened, so it's that's not very fair. That's not very fair because I want to watch stupid stuff. But yeah, nationwide protests across Australia demand end to Gaza war and sanctions on Israel. I'm gonna love to see how Sky News spins this.
Well, united in their calls
Ooh.
for an end to the war in Gaza, have marched across Australia today in peaceful yet powerful protests. They're calling for sanctions on Israel and arms embargo and an end to starvation, days after famine was declared in Gaza City.
They expected 7,000.
Up with liberation! Down, down with occupation!
Instead, organisers claim an estimated 50,000 people marched on Brisbane's Victoria Bridge.
That's pretty good for Brizzy. I don't think that many people live in Brizzy, so that's really, really good. That's really awesome. Good job, Brisbane. I won't make fun of Queensland today. I will give you a free pass. I will give you a free pass, Queensland. There you go. I'm being nice.
Police say it was more likely a crowd of around 12,000. Regardless, they were all marching for one reason, for one purpose: peace in Palestine.
The world needs to know what's going on. We need to give a voice.
And the world is listening.
My family in Gaza know about you today. They know you are here for them today.
Demonstrators calling for sanctions on Israel, arms embargoes, and Australian divestment from companies which build parts for Israeli war machines.
Yeah, we want peace, we want sanctions on the Israeli government, we want the aid to get through, and we want those weapons components and that two-way arms trade with Israel to stop.
It was a long road leading to today. Justice for Palestine originally proposed to walk across the Story Bridge. It would have mirrored Sydney's demonstration 2 weeks ago, where close to 100,000 people descended on the Harbour Bridge, but a Brisbane court said no, worried about safety.
And if you think this is the last time, we'll try and challenge those institutions to cross the Story Bridge. You'd be mistaken, because we'll do it again!
A small disruption to a very peaceful protest was quickly removed. Queensland Police swift to act and gave the man his marching orders. Overall, police were pleased with crowd behaviour.
Events like this are being held in 40 towns and cities around Australia today. They are the largest demonstrations of their kind. People we've spoken to say they simply can't stand by anymore without saying something.
Elsewhere, a sunny day in Sydney brought out thousands.
We will fight you, we will win!
With the Sharpie shirt? What did his shirt say? What happened? I was trying to see, but I was, you know, I didn't see. What did it say? Did you catch it? Did you catch what it said? I did not.
Fight you, we will win!
United in their calls for an end to the suffering and starvation of Palestinians.
All of the people in Palestine who have been murdered are human beings just like us.
South Australia made sure they were heard too, their voices ringing out across the...
No, I don't think you could see it, because I was trying to read it and all I could see was there was something scribbled on there. Yeah, I couldn't see what.
The city of churches. Calls that were echoed in Melbourne, where organisers say 100,000 people flooded the heart of the city and took a moment to remember the littlest victims of a brutal war.
15,000 children are dead.
And the journalists who died telling their stories, joined by a strong cohort of the Jewish community in a powerful show of solidarity, a national day of action. They marched in the capital too.
From the river to the sea!
Hoping people power can capture attention and spark change.
So more pressure, more protest, peacefully, it will give a good results.
Matt Johnston, 10 News.
Well, that's good to see. That's good to see. I wish I was healthy. I wish I was healthy and could go out in the sun. But alas, I only come out at night, and there's not really protests at night unless it's those weird Nazi people, and I don't really want to hang out with those dudes. I don't really want to hang out with those dudes, so, you know. Although I might go into the city this week. I might go get some Gammy's fried chicken and beer, or like just some Korean food in general. I think that might be nice. Yeah, only one group marches at midnight. Yeah, I don't want to march with those guys. I don't want to march with those dudes. Scientists believe a hostile spacecraft is headed towards Earth. Maybe it'll all be over soon, guys. Maybe it will all be over. The Pussy March. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
Now we have multiple sightings by multiple modes, and so the burden of proof has shifted. It used to be the burden of proof was on the people who believed in UFOs. They saw.
Don't worry, guys. It'll all be over soon. The hostile aliens are coming to get us. We can only pray. Please. Please come and feast on the goo inside my skull. I beg you. I beg of you. Make this end. Maybe there will be ghosts and we can hook up with the hot ghosts. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Something, prove it. Now the burden of proof has shifted to the Pentagon, to the military. Now they have to prove that these aren't extraterrestrial.
Scientists have warned that the odd space entity, which astronomers are calling 3-Eye Atlas, could be an extraterrestrial craft set to launch probes at our planet. The object is traveling at a speed.
Oh, are we gonna get anal probed? Are all of us gonna get anal probed? Ooh, kinky. Kinky. I look forward. Do I look forward to it? I don't know. It depends, actually.
Of around 60 kilometers per second from the direction of the center of the Milky Way galaxy.
The trajectory that it takes is aligned with the plane of the planets around the sun. That's a chance of 1 in 500.
Estimated at more than 19 kilometers wide, the object is zooming through our solar system on a trajectory which will bring it within 274 million kilometers from Earth on December 19th, 2020.
I feel like that's not very close. I feel like that's not very close. I think they'll just keep on moving, to be honest. I do think the aliens are gonna come past, but I don't think they'll really care about us. I don't think the aliens really would take much interest in our planet, I feel like. I don't know. I don't know. But 19 kilometers for a spacecraft is insane. I mean, not that I know what the standard alien spaceship looks like, but I feel like that's insane.
25. Astrophysicist R.V. Loeb theorizes from imagery of the object that it emits light itself, which could change preconceived notions of its size.
So usually for comets, you see a cometary tail trailing the objects from behind because it's being pushed by the radiation from the sun. The dust particles are pushed to be behind, to lag behind the object. In this case, what we are seeing is a glow in front of the object.
Loeb, along with 2 other scientists from Harvard University, published a paper speculating whether it could be hostile extraterrestrial technology.
The unusual trajectory of this object offers the possibility that it might have been designed so as to have some goals of a reconnaissance mission.
Nick Pope, who used to invest.
I mean, they probably are doing some reconnaissance, but I don't think what they're looking for. I hate Mondays. Yes, I do hate Mondays. Fine, I do hate Mondays. It is an awful, awful day. I hate all the days, really, to be honest. But they're coming to stop Elon and Sam Altman from making the machine god. Look, I don't think those guys are actually capable of making anything, to be honest. Like, I would be scared of Elon if he wasn't like such a weird, awkward, like loser guy. I just don't think he's really capable of like actually doing much harm. Because despite the fact that he talks about you know, how smart he is all the time, he's not actually that smart. He's just a weird, like, awkward trust fund baby. And that's about it, really.
Investigate UFOs for the UK's Ministry of Defence, said, "It is not beyond the realms of science fiction."
He's already done plenty of harm. Yeah, but I think he's kind of done the peak. I think throwing around his money during the election was like the peak of his harm, if that makes sense, Delta. Like, I think from here on out, I know like he wants to put chips in people's heads and do all this wild stuff, but I just don't think a lot of the ideas that he have a tenable. Because whenever I talk to my friends that are like in STEM, they say like if they're in physics or like if they're in like computer engineering and stuff like that, they say like the stuff that he talks about isn't even like possible. Like it violates like the laws of physics and all that. So he's just kind of like, yeah, he's just somebody with a lot of money that likes to talk a lot of shit, I think. But I think because he's so emotionally volatile, I think he's gonna just end up like taking himself out like accidentally, because he's like he can't regulate his emotions very well, and I think he'll be his own downfall, to be honest.
That 3-eye Atlas could be an alien spaceship of some kind. It's an unusual size, unusual acceleration, unusual course, unusual behavior. Those things combined very closely match sort of a mapping or survey mission. Some astronomers have dismissed the idea that 3-eye Atlas is of extraterrestrial origin.
It's irresponsible science. This is just coincidence, the path that it comes through the solar system. There's a perfectly natural explanation for this. It is behaving like a regular comet. It's developing a little tail. It's getting brighter as it gets closer to the sun. We know a few things about it, but everyone's intensively studying it.
NASA says 3-eye Atlas was spotted on July 1st, 2025 by an asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system, or ATLAS telescope, located in Chile. 3-eye Atlas is the third known interstellar object to enter our solar system, following 1-eye Oumuamua and 2-eye Borisov. Oumuamua was discovered in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. With increasingly updated technology, these objects are considered unlikely to be the only objects displaying their unique behavior, and could potentially aid scientists in understanding the origin of other star systems and the processes that eject these objects into interstellar space.
Do you think extraterrestrial life is out there?
Elon's not going to Mars. Look, I think terraforming Mars is very feasible. Like, there's these sci-fi books. I can't remember what they're called. I think it's like Red Mars, Blue Mars, Green Mars. And like there are very like scientifically achievable in the next few hundred years, like ways to create an atmosphere on Mars, to green Mars, to create water on Mars. There are ways to do that, right? They put a bunch of factories on Mars, they pump out a bunch of CO2, they nuke it a few times. Like, these are things that are actually like tenable. Like, terraforming Mars and having it as like a dual planet system is actually really feasible, because Mars probably did look very similar to Earth, like when it had its atmosphere and when it had its water, when it had its oceans. So what am I reading? He's good at pitching investors. He's good at collecting grants. Almost all the Tesla profits come from resale of carbon credits. Elon Musk's worth is 100% like inflated, and he relies on so many government subsidies, which is why it's so stupid of him to get into bed with Trump and then piss Trump off. Mars has no magnetic field, which is necessary for an atmosphere. Yeah, but I can't remember exactly because I read those books ages ago, but is remagnetization a word? Okay, this is bringing up a lot of weird stuff. Anyway, there is a way to do it. I just don't remember what it is. You think Venus is more viable to colonize? Isn't it like 5 billion degrees on the surface of Venus? Although we could make a lot of cool songs, because Venus rhymes with a word that is fun for childish people to sing about. Because I'm a child and that's what I want to do. No, you live up in the inner atmosphere? Oh, okay. Temperature is 464 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that sounds not so great. Off the top of of the top of your head the ways to generate spin while restabilizing orbit. Yeah, it's something like that. That's what the nukes were for. The nukes were for the remagnetization. I knew you had to nuke Mars for some reason. I just couldn't remember what it was. But apparently it is feasible.
I think it's statistically unrealistic to think it isn't. I mean, given the vastness of the universe.
The universe brims with mysteries. And we so want many of those mysteries to be a light in the sky you don't understand. Gee, I want that to be aliens visiting us.
Hello, my name is Edward. I'm from the planet Glaxon. Wow, it's like I'm back home.
That was a jump scare. That actually scared me. I'm a baby. I'm such a baby. No. I couldn't find anything like funny, so I just chose a bunch of random news stories. The celestial event that only happens every 2.5 years. Apparently we have like a super dark new moon today or something. I don't know. Go out and see the new moon that you can't see because it's black because it's a new moon. I don't know.
Well, an extremely rare celestial phenomenon will take place this evening when a black moon drifts across Australian skies. Dennis?
It's a song. Joining us now to tell us how it all works and if you'll be able to catch a glimpse is astrophysicist Dr. Kirsten Banks in Melbourne. Good morning, Kirsten. What exactly is this black moon?
Well, a black moon is actually...
I hate this song. I hate this song so much because there's a Thin Lizzy song, Dancing in the Moonlight, and this song is also called Dancing in the Moonlight, and obviously the Thin Lizzy one shits all over it, so yeah, screw you. Screw you, that's all I have to say.
Actually a term that's only come about in 2016, so it's a relatively new astrological term, which I'll say, because it has nothing to do with astronomy and science. It's really just a combination of the new moon falling on either the second new moon in a calendar month, or in this case, it's a seasonal black moon. Okay. So that's when a new moon is a...
Oh, so it's like a blue moon. It's just 2 new moons in 1 month. Okay, cool. Got it. That's not exciting. I wanted there to be cool witchy stuff afoot.
Third new moon if there are 4 new moons in a season.
All right, so I guess it's rare then, a bit like a blue moon. If it's a black moon, do we actually see anything?
So that's the funny thing. It's a new moon, so the moon is up during the daytime closer to the sun, so you won't see any moon up in the sky tonight, but that actually makes it a really good night for stargazing because the moon adds a lot of light pollution or natural light pollution to the night sky. If a full moon is up, it's about the same sort of light pollution as the city of Sydney. So with no moon up in the sky, you'll have lots more stars to see in a place...
Is it raining outside? I'm gonna go look at the stars. Hang on. Instead of looking out the window, I just check the weather on my phone. Such a current year way to live my life. Weather. It's not loading. Oh, it's clear. It's clear outside. It's 10 degrees. There's frost. And it's clear. Ooh. Living underground is tough on Earth already. Mars has a weak gravitational force, so everything is more risky. Yeah, but I think I will get taller if I go to Mars. So I'm gonna go there. I feel like the gravity will make me taller. I don't know. I just want to be tall.
Little light pollution.
So as a budding astrophysicist myself, I've been doing a lot of research here, and I'm told, or I read, that one of the most beautiful lunar sightings happens in the days that follow. Am I right?
That's right. The toenail moon is so gorgeous. It's my favorite phase of the moon because it looks so sharp that it'll cut you. So in the next few nights from tomorrow and into the early days of next week, just after sunset, maybe about 30 to 40 minutes after sunset, you'll see this really thin crescent moon just shining brightly. A little toenail moon. That's right.
Feet could be so beautiful.
The name gives me a bit of an ick, I've got to say.
It is beautiful.
Okay, I don't want to listen to these people talk anymore. Normal people make me feel sick. You make me feel sick in my stomach. I can't deal with it. Oh, I want to see what happened in the Blue Mountains. Gosh, do I know any of these people? Let's see. 3 hospitalized after being found unresponsive at Blue Mountains home. Yeah, I can't handle small talk with normies. I really can't. It's just, I just feel so awkward. I just feel so ugh.
People have been rushed to hospital after being found unresponsive at a home in the New South Wales Blue Mountains, 2 suffering stab wounds. Fiona Willan is at the scene for us in Leura this afternoon. Hi there, Fiona. What have police said at this stage?
I was not expecting it to be in Leura. Leura is like the rich suburb of the Blue Mountains.
Well, Mel, we know that 2 men are being treated for multiple stab wounds and a woman is fighting for life after she was found unconscious at the home behind me. Police were called here around 7:30 this morning after someone raised the alarm. Inside, they found the 3 people unresponsive. The 2 men, believed to be in their 40s, were taken to Westmead Hospital. They are each in a serious but stable condition. The woman is believed to be in her 60s and she was taken to the Blue Mountains District Hospital in a critical condition. We have spoken with some neighbours who have told us that a family has lived at this address for many years, a couple with their 2 adult sons.
7:30, sirens and everything. It woke me up because usually I sleep in. And I thought it was an accident on the road. Sorry. And then I come up and it's in the street. I'm going, wow, I don't know what happened. So 7, 8 ambulances. And same with the police, and yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, horrible. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
Police is...
Delta, that's what having a conversation with anyone in the Blue Mountains is like. That is literally what having a conversation with any fucker that lives in the Blue Mountains is like. I'm not joking. That's why I never go there. That's why I refuse to go there. They're all like that. It hurts my brain. I had to leave. I had to leave for my own sanity. The most beautiful place in the world with the most brain dead MFers up there. It's absolutely insane. And like probably the most eshays in the country as well. So it's all like cooked cunts and eshays. They're just everywhere. Yeah. Is he a typical Blue Mountains boy? Well, I mean, he is one of the types of Blue Mountains boys, I will say that. Yeah, you can see why I was not compatible with those people. Yeah, nope.
Still examining the crime scene this afternoon. They expect to start door knocking the area shortly in the hope they can get some answers.
It would have been funnier if it was an Eshe. It would have been funnier if they interviewed an Eshe. Why could the neighbor have been a Blue Mountains Eshe? That would have been mad entertaining. All right. Door knocking? Yeah, they got no idea. Yeah, they definitely don't. But I just think I think it's so sad that 2 40-something-year-old men were living at home with their parents. Like, that's what the economy is like. Imagine being in your 40s and not, like, living independently. That's so sad. That's so depressing. God, I'm glad, like, for someone in my situation, I feel like I really have my shit together. Like, yeah, my health is bad and yada, 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 but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm self-sufficient. I don't have to. Because obviously relying on my family isn't an option for me, so I guess I was kind of forced to be an independent adult from a young age, but, yeah. I don't know, that just makes me sad that that's the world we live in. Epstein's former partner praises Trump. I bet she does. He was like, don't tell anybody about all the weird sex stuff I did on the island, and I'll send you to the nice jail. And she was like, okay. And raises doubts about how Epstein died.
It was meant to help silence the furor over the Trump administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case.
But the interview with the disgraced financier's one-time girlfriend raises more questions than answers.
I did think that we might have a child, which is what I wanted.
Ghislaine Maxwell, in her own words. Over 2 days last month, the former British socialite was grilled by Deputy US Attorney General Todd Blanche. Hundreds of pages.
Yeah, I caught that too. I caught the one-time girlfriend too thing because like it's that was insane. But I was like, I don't like what? Because they were like, she was like his long time girlfriend. Imagine being such a pick-me that you human traffic women for your boyfriend. Like that is a level of depravity and like sociopathy that's like just on another level.
Pages of transcripts and audio recordings made public today.
And he doesn't even propose. Yeah, he didn't even put a ring on it. Disgusting behavior. That's definitely the worst thing that Epstein did, was not putting a ring on this lovely lady's finger. I'm being sarcastic, by the way, just in case. Just in case anyone out there is not aware. I am joking. I am joking.
He died by suicide.
Maxwell thinks Epstein was murdered in his jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial, not to stop him from implicating rich and powerful men in his crimes.
It's ludicrous. If that is what they wanted, they would have had plenty of opportunity when he wasn't in jail.
But by an inmate over a simple prison argument, systematically swatting down many of the conspiracy theories that have swirled around the case for years. Rejecting suspicions the convicted sex offender had compromising photographs.
Well, how would she? Well, how would she know? She was on the run and then she was in jail. So how would she know what happened in jail? I'm sure they're not facilitating conversations between accomplices in separate jails or separate prisons or whatever the fuck. That doesn't make any sense.
Or that he kept a client list.
There is no list that I am aware of.
Asked about Epstein's relationship with Donald Trump.
The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Labelling this photo with Prince Andrew fake. Describing Virginia Giuffre's allegations she was abused by the royal when she was 17 as
mind-blowingly not conceivable.
Critics will question Maxwell's motivations, particularly after her glowing references to Donald Trump, as she...
Yeah, he was a gentleman. Case closed, guys. Case closed. Sorry, guys. Sorry to have wasted your time, everybody.
Seeks a presidential pardon or a reduction in her 20-year sentence for helping Epstein traffic underage girls.
This transcript poses more questions than it gives us answers. And it's of little value because we need to see the files that are in the hands of the Department of Justice, not this transcript.
Her answers fitting neatly with the president's attempts to get his supporters to drop their obsession with sinister...
I honestly thought she was going to say not this trap, but then she said transcript. And I was like, oh, I thought she was going to go off. I was excited. I was like, ooh, it's getting juicy.
...theories of a conspiracy and move on.
President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me.
Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison camp shortly after the interview. In the United States, Rob Scott, 7 News.
Oh wait, guys, I found the trashy news.
How do you tell?
I found the trashy news. Would you tell your barber if they gave you a bad haircut? Well, I don't think barbers can cut really like long hair. My hair's down. Like if I went to a barber, it was like, can you give me some layers and just a trim? They would be like, what are you talking about? I can shave your head. And I'd be like, no, thank you, sir. Let me leave. I would not go to the barber, but anyway.
A barber that they've done a bad job cutting your hair?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm just silent and leave. I usually don't say anything.
I think that's like a forbidden thing to say.
Do you go to the barber?
No.
No. Okay. My next question does become redundant. Thank you very much, so Dino. Have a great one. Haircut prices are growing across.
That's mean. Maybe he's sensitive about his baldness. Did you think about that? Oh, you just need to be a funny man. Don't you, Tim? Don't you, Tim? You're a bit of a bully. Tim's a bully. Let's all point and laugh at Timmy. What a bad boy. Clippers or nothing? No, my hair is down to my bum, okay? It took ages. It took me 2 hours to wash my hair, okay? This is what I had to do. I started my hair washing process yesterday. I had to oil my hair, I had to oil my scalp, and then I had to oil my hair, and then I had to leave that in overnight. Then I had to wake up, use clarifying shampoo on my hair, wash it twice, then dry it, then dry it 80%, then do K18, leave that on for 4 minutes, then do my conditioner, leave that on for 20 minutes, then hop back in the shower, rinse it all out, do my gui sha, do my, you know, other shower activities, and then come out and dry my hair again. Then I had to do my leave-in conditioner, my leave-in hair oil, and it's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. Okay? Having hair is annoying. Did I ever have a cut that I regretted at the salon? I only get my hair cut like twice a year because it's expensive, and I don't know. I'm okay with having long hair, but I did have a lady cut like off about 6 inches when I wanted her to cut off about 2 inches, and that was kind of annoying. But and I've had friends cut my hair and do a bad job. And you know, don't let your friends cut your hair, guys. Don't let them. As a guy, all you do is use the joint shampoo and conditioner and then you're done. Yeah. You definitely can get away with that if you have short hair. But I'm on a lot of medications that cause like issues with my hair, and like lupus can cause hair loss and stuff like that, so you have to be really careful. Also, some of the medications that I'm on can cause hair loss, so I do everything that I can to like keep my hair nice and strong. So I'm always doing like hair treatments. I have like a red light helmet that I use. I'm like doing everything to my scalp, like serums, scalp serums, and all these things that prevent hair loss. And so far so good. Like I still have a pretty thick amount of hair on my head, considering. So that's good. But yeah, I just it's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. Sometimes if you're feeling fancy, you use a bar of soap on your head. Yeah, definitely. I have definitely seen guys just use the bar of soap like everywhere all over their body. Or I've seen a guy use anti-dandruff shampoo on his hair and then proceed to use it as a body wash. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home because you don't have the toiletries here to meet my needs. Goodbye, sir.
Australia. Here in Sydney alone, in the last 5 years, haircut prices have increased by 28.3% and 20.2% in Melbourne. We're on the streets of Sydney today to ask people if their hairdresser is taking too much off the top. How much do you pay for a haircut?
$50.
Do you think that's an adequate price?
I think it's expensive. $60.
Do you think that's a reasonable price to pay for a haircut?
Not really.
30.
What's a Just Cut haircut going for these days? I should go to Just Cuts tomorrow because I could go there at lunch. I might go to the Melbourne Central one at lunch. Your most recent haircut is regrettable. You don't know why he cut it so short. Oh, I hate that. But the good thing is it'll grow back. It'll be back to normal in a few months. So, you know, that's good. I want to see what the cheapest haircut is. This is the cheapest place. It's $45 at Just Cuts now. Whoa, that is a lot. Or you can get a treatment that costs $12. And a blow wave starting from $25. I do look good with a blow wave. I do. I should get... Oh, nah. What's the point? What's the point of getting my hair like blow waved and then just going home? No point. No point, actually.
$65.
Do you go to the barber?
No.
No. Okay. My next question does become redundant. Thank you very much, though, Dino. Have a great one.
45 at the moment.
Do you think that's a good price?
No, it's a joke.
Like $10.
Do you go to a place to get that?
You feel like you're the only guy who washes his hands and likes a clean bathroom? Oh, you're a rare guy, Delta. We like guys like you. I do know some guys that are very, very clean. Like, I do know some guys that like own their own homes and they're very clean and they have very good hygiene, and yeah, they're good boys. They're good boys. We do like it.
Yeah, my friend's mum's a hairdresser.
How much do you pay for a haircut?
$40.
I don't. I've got a daughter that cuts it.
$30. I think it was $30. It's not like those ridiculous 100, 120 bucks you sometimes get.
Maybe like $100? Sometimes like 100. At one time I was like asked to pay 120.
Did you pay it?
Yeah, well, I couldn't really do anything else. So. I've actually never gotten a haircut before, but I did go in for a trim. It's like this much. It costed $88.
$88?
$88. Very unreasonable, yep.
Do you find that price has gone up over the past few years?
Definitely. Always.
Yeah, I used to pay 30 not too long ago.
I don't really get them enough to notice.
Yeah, but like that's just with inflation for all things as well.
Hello, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. GWS in the top 4. Yay. Yay. It's gonna be exciting. What happens if there's a final between Adelaide and GWS? Are we gonna be enemies for a week? Are we gonna be enemies? Ooh, it's gonna get scandalous.
I think so. I think many of my friends decide to cut their own hair or just try and go for the cheaper options these days.
Do you think your hairdresser does a good job?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, I think she does a good job.
Depends on which hairdresser. Some did a good job.
Yeah, but it's still overpriced.
Yeah, they do a good job. They have like a nice facility, a lot of people there, and like it's like very popular for my area.
How do you tell a barber?
One time a hairdresser made me cry. And I was so upset. Yeah, she made me cry, and it was a horrible experience.
That they've done a bad job cutting your hair?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm just silent and leave. I usually don't say anything.
I think that's like...
What did she do? So this was a while ago. This was like when I was this would have been when I was in high school. I had to have some chemo when I was in high school. Like to suppress my immune system. So I lost some hair. Like I didn't like have, I wasn't bald or anything. I wasn't anywhere close to like being bald, but my hair had thinned significantly, and well, not even significantly, like you couldn't really notice. So I went in to get like the haircut that I usually get, which is just like layers starting at my chin, just at the front. And she goes, I don't know what you expect me to do. I can't cut your hair. You're bald. And then she lifted up like the sides of my head and she was like, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And like she was yelling it like really loud in front of everybody. And I was so upset. But the thing is, I went to another hairdresser's and she cut it fine. And she did exactly what I wanted. Yeah, she did exactly what I wanted. And like, because my dad had driven me to like the shopping center. Because, you know, I was sick. He wasn't going to let me go like to the shopping center by myself. And when I was like really sick, because I could like faint or something. And we went to another hairdresser and she didn't say anything about my hair, and she cut it exactly the way that I wanted it, and she didn't say anything. But I was so humiliated and I was so upset. And it's like, people have health issues, you know, and people have like, yeah, it was just really like, why are you working in like the service industry when like you have no people skills? Yeah, it was just really awful. It was just really awful. But the thing is, I think she just didn't have the skill to cut my hair. I just think she didn't have the skill to cut my hair because nobody else had an issue. Nobody else had an issue with it. But thankfully, it all grew in very, very well again. And yeah. But now I have to take a medication called methotrexate, which is also a chemotherapy drug, but it's very low dose, and I just take it once a week. And that's supposed to cause hair loss. Well, it can in some people, but so far, like, I've just been using all these like hair loss serums and yada, 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 and the hair helmet and all of that. So I haven't lost any hair, and my hair's really long and it's really healthy. So I'm just gonna keep that up. But yeah, she made me cry. I was in tears. My dad went in and like freaking, my dad went feral on them. My dad went absolutely feral on them. He was just like, yeah, he gave them an earful, that's for sure.
A forbidden thing to say.
I had a terrible one a couple of years ago. Never went back.
Why don't you want to tell the barber it's a bad haircut?
Oh, because you kind of asked for it and then it's over and like, what are you going to do? Like, it's already cut. Like, what's the point?
Probably not. Go cry about it at home, yeah.
Did she do a good job?
I don't know. You guys can decide. Anyway, I'll see you.
Okay, have a good one.
Hello, Dango. Good to see you. What other stupid shit is there? How to rewire your brain. My brain needs way more than a rewiring, I must say. My brain needs a full transplant, I think. Give us stupid news stories. Stupid shit Sundays, yeah, 100%. Well, you can only watch so many stories about like the unchanging conditions in Gaza and stuff, right? It's like if anything major changes, then I reckon like obviously we'll stay up to date with it, but it's like I don't know. I feel like people's hearts and souls can only take so much stuff, and then you just need to have like a stupid day where you just do stupid shit, you know? Ooh, teachers blackmailed and bullied at one of Australia's most exclusive boys' schools. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, can the private school boys in the chat tell me any juicy goss about being a private school boy? I wish I could go to a boys' private school, just be the only girl there. I reckon that would be fun. That would have been fun. Obviously, no one would facilitate that, but that would have been a fun time, I reckon. Sadly, you were a public school kid. Yeah, I was a public school kid. My parents could barely afford the school contribution fee for the public school, and my school uniform and all of that. Like I had to get help from the Smith family a lot of the time to like get my school uniform and like my school supplies and stuff like that. That's why I always donate money to the Smith family, because they help low income kids, you know, access education, and they help with tutoring and stuff like that, because I do feel like education is a way out of poverty. So I do if I ever get like enough viewers, I'm gonna do a charity stream for the Smith family, because I like them. They're nice guys. Delicious water. Yum, yum, yum. The elixir of life. Let's see what's going on at the private schools. Which one is it? Oh, it's Sydney! It's Sydney. Yay. We do love it.
Nestled among the mansions of Australia's most expensive real estate, overlooking Sydney Harbour, is one of the country's most storied schools. The Cranbrook School is the alma mater of captains of industry and billionaires.
Driving past the school that looks so incredible from the outside, but in my mind it's a facade because I know what happened on the inside.
You live not so far away from Cranbrook now.
I just wonder what it's like, because apparently all boys schools are supposed to be better for boys than like co-ed, because apparently co-ed, like the reason why boys get kind of out of control is because like they're competing to look cool in front of the girls. I mean, assuming that like they're straight, obviously, but apparently that's like a sociological like contributing factor, is that at co-education schools, or maybe that was the other way around. No, I think girls do better in single sex, not the boys, actually. Is it sparkling water I'm drinking? No, it's Melbourne tap water. It is a Melbourne tap water that tastes disgusting. My best friend came down last year or the year before, and we were staying in South Bank in like this like Airbnb, and we were at the little supermarket near our Airbnb, and she was like, "Oh, do you want me to grab some water?" And I'm like, "We'll just drink tap water." And she said Melbourne water is the most disgusting water she's ever tasted, and it tastes floral. And I remember when I moved my brother down here so I could get him help with his schizophrenia. He said the exact same thing. He wouldn't drink the tap water, but I think I'm just so used to Melbourne tap water now that I don't remember that it tastes disgusting. But I remember thinking that it tasted disgusting when I first moved down here. You went to a co-ed and you teach at an all boys school. You think the boys at the co-ed are more mature? Huh.
How do you feel when you go past that place?
I avoid it.
Persistent debates about toxic masculinity have led to a push for private boys' schools to go co-educational.
Oh yeah, they made what's it called, the one in Stanmore, Newington College. They made that one go co-ed, and they all had mental breakdowns. All the old boys, whatever they call them, the alumni, like the rich old weirdos that are like still involved with the school even though they graduated like 50 years ago. They all they literally cried. They literally took the Department of Education to court or something. Absolute insanity. The all boys schools, they're not great for social development. Yeah, I could see that actually. They have no idea how to treat or talk to girls. Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, I guess like learning how to talk to girls is something that you start to do in high school. I would say that's true.
But what's often lost in all of that is whether institutions like this are safe places for girls.
Even if you don't like the idea of the fact that a boys' school is being spotlighted, what about the girls?
Many female staff have left the school, bewildered at their treatment. Investigations have been launched, non-disclosure agreements signed, settlements paid.
I just don't want another female to experience what I've experienced. It's like lambs to the slaughter, and it needs to stop.
At the end of 2022, the entire council, bar one member of the
Yeah, I've seen and read a few stories where female teachers have had to leave because of like kids being, you know, indoctrinated into like the red pill sort of movement and just being super like misogynistic and super just disgusting to female teachers to the point where they just have to leave their profession. Man, if a bunch of teenage boys tried to troll me, I would make them cry. Maybe we need to get like more chicks from Western Sydney into teaching because we would just turn it around and make the boys cry. Maybe that's what we need.
Cranbrook resigned after a very public war was waged with the headmaster. At the time, the row was blamed on debates about the school going co-ed. But our investigation has uncovered a very different picture. In this episode of Four Corners, we investigate allegations that have, until now, remained hidden, and why what happens at elite institutions like this matters for the rest of us. It's a spectacular Sydney afternoon and a teacher is crossing Sydney Harbour to attend a meeting at one of Australia's most...
A lot of the year 7s watch a lot of Andrew Tate, so they try and act all macho. You're sick of the mewing trend? Oh, is that where they try and get like sharp jaw lines for like doing all these weird like facial exercises? I've heard that like kids are just mewing in class. Is it really hilarious to watch? Are they just doing like Zoolander type expressions all throughout class. I need to know. I need to see this. It's pretty amusing. I mean, it's not amusing if you have to deal with it, but the concept is amusing, I guess. I guess is what I'm trying to say. A teacher at your school rage quit. She got repeatedly reprimanded for punishing a boy who should have been expelled. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, when the parents are paying money to like have their kids' behavior tolerated, I guess, because you can get expelled from a public school really easily. One of my brothers was expelled from 2 high schools. I never even got suspended, but that was because the deputy principal absolutely loved me. He thought I was the funniest person out. So, yay for me, I guess, for being friends with the deputy principal. But I didn't really do anything too bad. The worst things that I would do would be to smoke in the toilets, which I never actually got caught for, but everybody knew that I did it. Everybody knew I was doing that. And I would smoke on the station in school uniform. And he would like be like, please just take off the jumper. Please just take off the school jumper and like, you know, bring something else to wear if you've got to smoke after school. And I'm like, okay. Cause Karens would ring the school and they would give them a description of you. So like Karens would be like, I saw a girl wearing knee-high boots and fishnets and she was wearing the school uniform and she was really petite and she had long dark hair. And it's like, well, obviously it's me. Thank you for that. And you know, I would get in trouble. I would get the, can Panda please come to the front office immediately? And I'm like, what did I do now? Now to this day, when I hear my name, I feel like I'm getting called to go see the deputy principal. I'm like, what did I do now? You'll never understand that type of stuff. You went to a rural high school with 200 kids. Oh, that sounds really nice. That sounds really nice. I went to a semi-rural high school and we had 500 kids. We're about 2 hours west of Sydney. But it was literally in the middle of the bush.
Most exclusive private schools.
So I'm going in to meet with the headmaster.
Fiona Richards hasn't been able to work at the school for months.
I was ready to teach. I had the capacity to teach. The only thing stopping me was an inability to address.
A kid had a jade face roller? Dude, what the heck? A kid had a jade face roller. Don't they know that a gua sha is way more effective? I should give them a course on lymphatic drainage. I do use a gua sha when I'm in the shower. I don't know if it does anything, but I feel like I'm doing something to my face, you know. Oh, and I have one of those like red light masks. I have like a near infrared like red light mask that sometimes I wear because I feel like a robot when I wear it. I walk around the house and I make robot noises, and yeah, it makes me feel futuristic, and I like it. But yeah, the mewing stuff is hilarious because they look so funny when they do it.
The workplace bullying and to ensure that the place was a safe place for me to return to.
Ms. Richards has been trying to call Cranbrook to account for the treatment she says she received at the hands of a circle of senior men at the school.
I don't feel very hopeful, frankly. I just don't. I've realised that this is a bit of a pattern of behaviour and I'm not the only one.
And you don't think that the...
See, I never get bullied by men. I always get bullied by groups of girls. They like sense something about me and they always bully me. If a group of men were bullying me, I would just tell them to fuck off. I would probably make them cry. I would probably... I don't know, but for some reason, like women, I think it's because of my childhood and my mum. When women are mean to me, it just breaks me. It just breaks me in half, and I just become like, I don't know. I just get all sad and quiet, and I just won't even look at them. I don't know, but yeah, guys trying to bully me doesn't work. I'll always just end up like saying something 100 times harsher to them, and they don't know what to say, and they're like, And I'm like, yeah, don't start something you can't finish, mate. Okay, I'm a savage. But women, I don't know, women can just, the psychological warfare that women engage in is on another level, to be honest. I find it very soul destroying. I've been bullied out of a job before. I've been bullied out of a job before by mean girls, and I was like very depressed. Like, it was such bad workplace bullying, and it was for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason.
Behaviour directed towards you at Cranbrook was acceptable?
Not at all. Not at all. It was shocking.
Four Corners has obtained multiple letters and documents from former Cranbrook staff members describing a toxic culture.
So I've got a series of letters here from women.
We read them to the former head of the Old Boys Association and a graduate of a nearby girls' school.
Just wanted to read those out to you.
The women's letters echo conversations Four Corners has had over many months with dozens of staff and families who have left Cranbrook. Those letters were addressed to the headmaster, Nicholas Sampson.
So 13 October 2020. Dear Nick, as it stands, I've lost everything I've worked so hard for. My role, my integrity, my confidence, my happiness, my strength. 8th of March 2021. The school will lose yet another hardworking, dedicated, experienced and capable leader as a consequence of being unable or unwilling to eradicate the toxic culture that exists within pockets of the school. 16th of June 2023. Dear Nick, staff bullying grievance. I am writing to express my upset and concern at the demeaning and humiliating manner in which I have been treated. Monday, 30th of October 2023, and this was to the Australian Human Rights Commission. I am here today because Cranbrook failed me. In my experience, Cranbrook did not have a safe, inclusive and supportive culture for me and its female teaching staff. That must change.
Yeah, it's just shocking, and just, it's unimaginable to hear that now as, you know, massive questions about whether they're ready for co-ed or not. It seems like absolutely not.
I'm conscious to, again, comment on really specific stuff here. But I'm not surprised. Ultimately, it sounds so bad, but I hear this stuff day in, day out. It's, I'm almost numb to hearing these sort of things now.
Cranbrook School occupies a magnificent site at Bellevue Hill, overlooking Sydney Harbour.
I started in kindergarten when I was 3 and went all the way through to senior school, and I just kind of bought into the vision of it and just loved the philosophy of it. It was a school that was committed to getting the best out of everyone.
That's an experience shared by other parents Four Corners spoke to off camera, who praised the teachers highly.
Cranbrook's a very nice school. For us, there was no real choice. Cranbrook was always...
You respect the red pill because it helped you not internalize why your first ex cheated on you. Yeah, look, female and male dynamics, men and women dynamics are tough. Honestly, it's not even about that. It's just some people are assholes, some people aren't. It hasn't got anything to do with gender. It hasn't got anything to do with blah blah blah. Sometimes you get in a relationship with somebody that's not mentally healthy. Sometimes you're not mentally healthy when you get in a relationship, and if you aren't in a relationship where both people are in a good place mentally and ready to have a relationship and, you know, communicate healthily and have healthy expectations of a relationship, then yeah, that's when things go wrong. It's got nothing to do with women are all this or men are all that or yada yada yada. Like, if you come to a relationship with like baggage and issues, or your partner comes to a relationship with baggage or issues, and they don't have good communication skills, and you're not able to talk through things, and you're not able to regulate your emotions, that's the main thing. Like a lot of people seem to have the inability to regulate their emotions, then things can get toxic very, very fast. And since you've only heard men cheating on women, the reverse happening to you made you believe you were in the wrong. Well, anyone can cheat. Anyone can cheat. Women can cheat. I've never cheated on anybody. I just wouldn't if I was in a relationship and I really wanted to be with somebody else, or I felt like I wasn't, you know, happy for whatever reason. I would end that relationship. Because that's just unfair to everybody involved. But yeah, I've been cheated on. It was awful. It was awful, especially when, like, you know, they lie to your face and they tell you that you're crazy and they gaslight you and you're like, oh, is everything okay? Like, I feel like, you know, you're acting a bit weird. I feel like, you know, you kind of seem distant, yada, yada, yada. And like, they gaslight you and make you feel like you're, you know, imagining it. That's the worst. But yeah, being cheated on is awful. The whole battle of the semester is fought by the single dysfunctional leftovers. Every generation has the same issue. Yeah. Yeah. Look, there's a lot of private school kids that can only get a job with their school once they finish. Like, they can only get a job with the school, or like with a program that the school runs, or things like that. They're loud and childless and have too much time and self-importance. Oh, the battle of the sexes. I mean, we can apply it to anything. I was applying it to Farn's comment about the red pill, but yeah.
Going to be where Jack would go to school.
It's an impressive school with an impressive Latin motto.
So the Cranbrook motto is Esse quam videri.
Esse quam videri. To be rather than to seem to be.
To be rather than to seem to be. And it's a huge part of the school.
How do you feel about that motto now?
It's a lie. It's all about saving face.
What you do see of this school from the street is quite something. Cranbrook has just finished an award-winning $125 million redevelopment of its facilities. Like all
Imagine what a public school could do with $125 million. $125 million. I guarantee you this school gets public funding as well. I guarantee you this school gets public funding. The fact that private schools get public funding boils my piss like you have no idea.
Private schools, it also receives government funding. At last count, that was more than $6.5 million for the year.
Jason Graham Nye dedicated his life to this school. So Jason, why are you here?
I'm here because I really have a great love for the school. I was a student there for 15 years. I was a teacher there. I was a housemaster there for a time. My sons went to that school.
Oh yeah, a lot of these kids would board as well. A lot of these kids would be boarders because all these really big prestigious schools, a lot of the time they have like farmers' kids and like kids from like really rural areas. Although sometimes even city kids send their kids to board because they just don't want them at home. But yeah, I can imagine like the toxic like after school behavior as well. A bunch of like hormonal boys living together must be insane. Yeah, the red pill treats women horribly. It does. It does. And all it does is all those types of movements do is like create like more animosity between the genders, right? They're just creating more animosity. They're not helping things. It's just, yeah, it's all just dumb. Just be a normal, nice person, meet a normal, nice person, and you know, just, if you like somebody and you guys get along and you're attracted to each other, you just, you know, just communicate in a healthy way and just, yeah, it's, I don't know. Should I be giving relationship advice? I feel like I'm successful in relationships. I'll give relationship advice. Here you go, guys. I'm the expert. Listen to me.
Analysts saw behaviour from senior management towards female staff members that was completely unacceptable.
Some of that behaviour, he says, was directed towards a senior marketing executive at Cranbrook, with whom he had worked when he ran the school's alumni association. The marketing executive signed a non-disclosure agreement.
She didn't put you up to speaking on her behalf?
No, not at all. This is something that I'm just really passionate about the school and about, you know, seeing the truth aired because it's been, you know, buried.
When the marketing executive made allegations of a toxic culture at Cranbrook after leaving the school in 2020, the school appointed Jason Graham Nye her support person. She wrote to Cranbrook expressing her dismay at how the school had treated her.
As Cranbrook stands poised to go co-ed, it concerns me greatly that these serious issues have apparently not been addressed nor resolved, despite assurances at the time of my departure that there would be an independent investigation, and I'm one of several senior women and men in recent years that I'm aware of to have suffered professional demise at the hands of this vicious culture and its repetitive associated pattern of intent-driven reputation destruction, white-anting, gaslighting, underhandedness, dishonesty, collusion and outright lies.
Staff, including senior men at the school, had made numerous claims against her, including questioning statements.
I think they should get a bunch of teachers from Western Sydney. Like, if they want to have female teachers, they should get them from Western Sydney, because Western Sydney chicks can definitely make a little eastern suburb private school boys cry. I've made eastern suburb private school boys cry. And I'll do it again. I will do it again. Bullying children, I have no qualms about that. I have no qualms. Look, like, I could be the school social worker, actually. I'm qualified to do that. Get me in, guys. I'll make all your kids cry. I'll toughen them up. I'll toughen them up for the real world.
She'd made about her university qualifications.
So there was instances where she was going through health issues and they were genuinely questioned by the most senior leaders in that group, which I just thought was a strange thing to do.
Without putting too fine a point on it, she had cancer and they questioned whether she was telling the truth.
Yeah, which I just found extraordinary. You know, it's a great way to force someone out, is to create that environment.
The marketing executive's letter sent Cranbrook into a tailspin. The school's council also became aware the parent of a prefect had raised concerns.
That highly valued teachers had left Cranbrook with no explanation. There is a boys' club. The focus is on protecting Cranbrook's reputation at all costs.
A workplace lawyer wrote to the school advising that an investigation be launched.
In my opinion, the claims need to be looked into and taken seriously. She could cause a lot of damage if she chose to go to the media. My suggestion is that someone credible be engaged to assess the claims.
Did that cultural review ever take place?
Not only did it never take place, there was a review specifically of the marketing executive's departure, but it was run by someone on the senior leadership team. So it was a completely ineffectual process.
I've had work colleagues not believe that I'm sick, and obviously, like, when I start a new job, I go through all the processes of letting people know that I have a long-term disability, I have a permanent disability, yada yada yada. But this was the job that I said I got bullied at. Yeah, they didn't believe that I had lupus, and oh, she doesn't look sick, oh, she looks fine, oh, she looks healthy, yada yada yada. And they would always, like, they were just assholes. Like, obviously I have really bad fatigue, because that's, whenever you get the cold or flu, you feel really, really, really tired because your immune system is working really hard, and that makes you tired when your immune system is activated. And and working hard. Well, I feel tired all the time because my immune system is activated, working hard, not to try and fight off a virus or bacteria or anything like that. It's focused on destroying my organs and my connective tissue. So I feel tired all the time, and they would always be like, oh, like they would always like, you know, insinuate that I was tired for like other reasons, or that I was lazy, or that I was this, that, and the other. And one day I just brought in all my medications and just put them all on my desk. I just put them all on my desk, and I was just, yeah. And I just came into work one day when I was like vomiting, so they could see me vomit all day. And yeah, like fuck those bitches. But yeah, that always sucks when you have an illness and people don't believe you. It's like, why do I have to prove that to you? Did the girls' bathroom at my school have mean message gossip written in the stalls? That was a big problem at your school? Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did. I had some interesting rumors about me at my high school. One was that I had my clit pierced for some reason. That was a rumor about me. And the other was that me and my boyfriend used to have threesomes all the time. I mean, he wishes. He thought it was funny though. He thought it was so funny. I was like, it's not funny. And he's like, yeah, but people think I'm having mad threesomes all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not. And he's like, yeah, but. I was like, thanks, mate. Thank you. Thank you. That, I don't know. People would just start rumors. Oh, the other thing, right, is, people would always like at my high school, people would always like make fun of me for being poor or being from a poor family. And then they would also accuse me of like having cosmetic procedures, right? Because I have like very full lips. I just naturally have, you know, pouty lips. And then they would accuse me, like they would go from one thing of like saying that like, oh, you're poor, like yada, 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 you can't afford this, you can't do that, yada, yada, yada. And then in the next breath, they would accuse me of like having all these cosmetic procedures done, like getting my lips done, getting this done, getting that done, having like some procedure to make, you know, my booty bigger and like all this stuff. And it's just like, okay, all right. Okay, like what is it? Am I poor, or like can I afford all these cosmetic procedures? Like pick a lane, guys. Pick a lane. At least be like consistent with your bullying. But it was pretty funny actually. Pretty funny because I was, yeah. Besides smoking and stuff, I was a pretty well behaved kid. Like I excelled academically. I worked really hard. I just liked smoking. I just enjoyed it. You know.
In a statement, Cranbrook told Four Corners it can't discuss matters covered by non-disclosure agreements, but it rejects any assertion that the school condones
harassment or disrespectful behaviour towards staff and women in particular.
In 2021, the year after the marketing executive left Cranbrook, a scandal erupted in Sydney's private school community. Chanel Contos went public with a petition detailing thousands of testimonies of allegations of sexual assaults by private school boys. Chanel graduated from a neighbouring girls' private school, so Cranbrook boys were on the top of her list.
We got the most amount of testimonies submitted from Scots College and Cranbrook, which are two schools right next to each other in Bellevue Hill. A few months after the petition, I wrote to the headmasters of Scots and Cranbrook to let them know that over the last few months we had collected almost 500 testimonies of sexual assault that named the perpetrator as either Scots boy or a Cranbrook student.
Nicholas Sampson.
Well, this is what you get, right? When you go around telling these kids that they are better than everybody, that they can do whatever they want, you know, that the world belongs to them. Like, reinforcing like sexist, misogynistic ideas about women. Yeah, like these guys are going to think they can go out and do whatever they want to women, to girls, I suppose in this case to girls, which is with impunity, right? They think they can just, they're just going to be under the impression that they can do whatever they want. Sorry, I just thought of something. I think this happened at Xavier College in Melbourne. Xavier College. What was it? What was it? Bullying. Public school. Anyway, I just thought of this. And a mother of one of the kids from Xavier College, well, actually, I'll read the story first, and then I'll read the story before I go off on a tangent about the story. How about that? We're getting better. The ADHD is, we're keeping it under control. Barely, but, hang on, I need some water. I have major desert mouth, hang on. Xavier snobs bullying contained uncomfortable truths about our education system. The Gonski model is imperfect, but it's the best hope we have for a fairer education system. What year is this from? 2015. We should feel indebted to the Xavier student who last week slagged off his public school counterparts on a VCE Facebook page. So sure, his sledging of state school kids as retarded and povo. Remember to say hi to me when I'm your boss was so obnoxious, bullying, sneering, and contemptuous that at first I wondered if he was taking the piss. But his bio also contained a timely and uncomfortable truth about an inequitable education system and the mainstreaming of class prejudice out of the mouths of teens. The episode leaves a sour taste because it exposes the pious hypocrisy of adults who censured the lad for expressing an elitist view they harbored themselves. It is a view to which political leaders of both major parties have pandered, running down public education both financially and rhetorically in an approach that distinguishes Australia as moronically self-defeating. Especially illuminating was the boy's remarks that he was eternally grateful his parents had sent him to a good private school instead of a poverty-stricken shithole in Pakenham. What's wrong with Pakenham? That's a nice suburb. I wish I could afford to buy a house in Pakenham. That would be sick. One feature of our censorial times is that we avoid meaningful discussion of various social problems for fear of stigmatizing disadvantaged groups. I'm guessing this is why some media reports omitted the reference to Pakenham from the student's slanderous quote, yet his reference is an apt one for exploring a broken and segregated system. Pakenham Secondary College on Melbourne's fast-growing southeast fringe draws 52% of its students from the lowest socio-economic background and only 3% from the highest, according to the My School website. In 2013, the school's net recurrent income amounted to $11,036 per student. Its total capital expenditure was $74,000 in the same year, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, basically, the Xavier College kids were just bullying private school kids, you know, calling us povo, whatever. I mean, who cares? I don't really. But then one of the mums from Xavier College rang into a radio station, right? She's so dumb. She said the quiet bit out loud. She rang into the radio station and she was like, yeah, I pay for my kids to go to Xavier College because I do want them to think that they're better than the other kids. They are better than the other kids. That's why I send them. They are better than the public school kids. And I want them to know that they're better than the public school kids. That's why I send them there. It's like you're not supposed to admit it in public, love. You're not supposed to admit it in public. You're supposed to keep that to yourself. But yeah. It's total expenditure. So the total expenditure of Pakenham. Oh no, this is Xavier. Xavier has 80% of their students gaining entry to university. Yeah, but private school kids fail university when they get there. Public school kids do way better at university. The ones that actually do get in do a lot better. That's what the statistics show, because we actually have to be good. We're not riding on the coattails of our school, right, to teach us how to do well in the exams. We actually are learning and absorbing and learning how to be analytical and learning how to write essays and learning, you know, how to write, how to think, how to critique, how to analyze. Private school kids don't necessarily have those skills. They have the skills to be able to be taught how to, you know, how to get a good mark in the VCE or the HSC or whatever they have in other states. I don't know. Yeah. Public schools generally are in danger of becoming options of last resort, populated with families too poor to go elsewhere and a risk of a downward spiral of underperformance. While complacent teachers and a stale educational ethos might contribute to the downward spiral, the playing field is hardly level when governments keep awarding unfair advantage to the Xaviers at the expense of the Packnams. I am having trouble with my words today. My tongue is like, it belongs to someone else. It just doesn't want to obey my brain signals and form words. But yeah, these kids go around, you know, thinking that they're entitled to the world, and that view gets reinforced at school. That view gets reinforced by their teachers. That, you know, view gets reinforced by the culture of the school, by the parents, because the parents are saying, well, you are better. I hate how like some type of moral judgment is connected to how wealthy somebody is. Like, I have money, therefore I'm a superior person to you, right? I'm morally superior to you. I'm better than you. You don't have money, you're poor because you're a bad person. It's like, no, some of us were just born into circumstances that are insurmountable, right? Like, I am a statistical anomaly to come from the background that I have and be, you know, and have been able to get the qualifications that I have and become a professional. That's not an everyday story, and it's not something that's easy to do. It was incredibly hard. I had to work incredibly hard just to get something that, you know, a low IQ dickhead with rich parents would just be able to do just by, you know, turning up Monday to Friday, 9 to 3. Like, they don't even have to think about it. But when you go to like an under-resourced public school where your class is full of like guys with ADHD, always like yelling out penis at the top of their voice, and like honestly, it is fun. It is fun going to a public school. It is fun when you have the naughty kids in class. That is fun. But yeah, you know, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder.
Replied to Chanel Contos immediately, and Cranbrook,
hello Catzilla,
participated in an independent research study on the culture of students at the school. It says it's continuing to implement the findings, which include consent and respect education for the boys. Former mathematics teacher Jasmine Hyde had what seemed to be a bright future at Cranbrook. She was a law graduate who also had a degree in pure mathematics. But things unravelled when a student attempted to blackmail her for nude pictures, threatening to accuse her of abusing him if she didn't send them. While the boy who wrote the email apologised profusely and said he was ashamed, the school's response shocked Jasmine Hyde. She says she was invited by Nicholas Sampson and his...
She should lecture at uni. She sounds like she's really smart. At least then she'd be like dealing with like adults and not these little horny weirdos. But that's the other thing, like, they just don't have entitlement to, like, university places that they're not smart enough to have. They, like, feel entitled to, like, women's bodies, like, women that they don't, like, that they see as beneath them. It's absolutely disgusting behavior. If a kid asked me for nudes, I would take a photo of, like, a sweaty guy's ass covered with pimples, and I would send it to them. That's what I would say. I go, here you go, sweetheart. Here you go. Here you go. Hope you enjoy. I'll make sure there's some Vaso around for you. All right.
Deputy Bob Meakin to this harbourside cafe in Rose Bay.
Bob Meakin said that.
Why not send them pasta? I mean, you could, I guess. I don't know. You could do a lot of things. You could do a lot of things to mess with them. But a lot of people are like, it is really easy to get intimidated in those types of things. And also, we don't know who this kid's dad was. This kid's dad could be a member of parliament. They could be, you know, the CEO of a bank. Like, this is the type of wealth that we're talking about at this particular school. So. You miss the time when your school used to have public caning when someone was caught for fighting and stealing. Yeah.
Because I'm young and, I'm just going to say it, attractive, it's not surprising that I've received attention from the boys.
The account of that meeting formed part of a complaint that Jasmine Hyde made to the Australian Human Rights Commission. In her statement to the Commission, she said,
justifying sexual harassment empowers future abuse. This is the standard that Cranbrook management condones. The tone from the top, that young, attractive women at your school should not only expect, but tolerate sexual harassment. I wonder how the parents of your future female students would feel about this.
In response to Ms Hyde's allegations, Nicholas Sampson said,
the statements by Mr Meakin could have been more thoughtful and the messages delivered in a different way. The statements, however, were based on a supportive and pastoral intent and were in no way dismissive of the seriousness of the incident.
The school statement.
I don't think men can understand how scary it is for a woman to be put in a situation where you're being blackmailed for nudes. Like, if men just have this entitlement that, like, if they're talking to you, the way that men just feel so comfortable asking for nudes is so incredibly scary. And then if you've ever been in a relationship where you have sent someone nudes, that's always in the back of your head, right? Like, what if this guy turns out to be a psycho and they're going to be all over the internet? Like, revenge porn is a thing. All of these things, like, I don't think men really understand just how scary it is to be a woman. Like, or just how scary it is for a man to make a sexual threat to you. It's really a type of fear that I just don't think men could ever understand. Like, it's scary out there.
To Four Corners says Mr Meakin never intended to offend and
is sorry if he has done so.
In the school's response to the Human Rights Commission, Mr Sampson said,
we are not aware of any of the issues Ms Hyde has reported regarding extremely inappropriate noises, gifts and comments made by students to female teachers. If these had been escalated to a member of the senior leadership team, they would have been dealt with appropriately, as such behaviour is totally unacceptable.
But Cranbrook was aware of these incidents.
A PowerPoint seminar presented by teachers had outlined all of those concerns about boys' behaviour: wolf whistling, sexually inappropriate gifts and comments. It was presented in an email titled Respectful Relationships. That email was sent to all senior school staff at Cranbrook 3 years before Jasmine Hyde made her complaint.
On playground duty, boys would moan as if making orgasm noises when I walked past. boys gave gifts of a bong to one teacher and fluffy handcuffs to another as parting Year 12 gifts.
3 months ago, the Human Rights Commission upheld Jasmine Hyde's claims of sexual discrimination at Cranbrook, including failure to provide breastfeeding facilities for her and a failure to find a car space when she was pregnant. The Commission doesn't have the power to make decisions about harassment by students aged under 18. The man overseeing all of this has been Nicholas Sampson.
Honestly, the blackmail with the nude stuff, I would go to the police. I would go to the police just because if juveniles can face justice, I would just take it outside of the school. I know you're not supposed to. I know these private schools are all yada, 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 having to protect people, blah, blah, blah. I would have gone straight to the cops. I would have gone straight to the cops. Or I would have gone to the kids' parents. Maybe they would have paid me off. Maybe they would have given me like $2 million and then I could, well, not retire, but maybe buy a cubby house in Sydney for $2 million. Blackmail is generally against the law. Yeah. Like, that is criminal. That is criminal. Threatening a teacher, send me nudes or I'll do X, Y, Z. How is that not illegal? I would have gone straight to the cops. I wouldn't have even gone to the principal. Too many pies. This kid definitely had 2 meat pies at lunchtime. This kid had definitely had 2 meat pies.
Mr. Sampson arrived at Cranbrook from the United Kingdom in 2012. A 2021 report revealed he was the second highest paid principal in Australia.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this assembly. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's assembly. Good morning, everybody. It's good to welcome you to this final orthodox assembly of this term.
My first impressions were he was someone who was a great orator. Like, he was incredible. He could hold an audience with no notes and he could just captivate.
Mr. Sampson lives rent-free in a stone house on campus, overlooking Sydney Harbour. He shares the home with his partner, a Cranbrook parent.
How'd you go? Well, as expected.
Former Cranbrook economics teacher Fiona Richards feels bitterly let down by Nicholas Sampson. She spoke to Four Corners after her meeting with a headmaster about her workplace complaint about bullying.
No acknowledgement that it was due to workplace bullying.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, like I've felt for the last...
It's so hard to do anything about bullying. Like, there's supposed to be all this legislation in place to stop workplace bullying, yada, yada, yada. But I was bullied at work and I just ended up having to walk away. Like, I just ended up having to quit that job and it affected me psychologically. It made me feel awful. I felt like I was in high school and I was being bullied by the mean girls. And I'm like, how is this happening in a professional work setting?
Last many months, marginalised, just not heard. One thing I asked for was an apology, but...
Did you get one?
No.
Why is it important to hear those words from Nicholas Sampson?
Because he's at the top. He's presiding over these people, this culture, and if the message doesn't come from him, then nothing changes.
Fiona was a former corporate lawyer who found her love of teaching later in life. A senior teacher who sat in on her classes when she...
Hello, Akef. Good to see you again. Hello, Oma. Oma's back as well. Good to see you guys.
...started at Cranbrook in 2022, assessed them as excellent. But things soured when Fiona suggested what she thought were fairly straightforward changes to the commerce course. What followed was a series of complaints about her own work.
I felt like this was a classic case of victimisation, of someone immediately becoming the problem when they've raised some legitimate concerns.
For the first time in her long career, Fiona became so stressed her doctor advised her not to work. She made a workers' compensation claim, and her statement to the insurer catalogues multiple minor allegations being levelled against her in meetings with senior men at the school. They include being late for debating when she was travelling from an economics conference across town, not attending after-hours activities on a day that she was sick, being abrupt to staff at the sick bay.
I've never felt so disrespected before as a female, and I've never felt so humiliated in my working career.
And how were you at the end of this process?
Broken, distressed, anxious, panicked.
Cranbrook's insurer upheld Fiona Richards' workplace injury. But Cranbrook didn't accept this and asked the insurer to review.
Don't get you wrong, you feel you 100% believe all this, but the way this is reported in the video is weird and it comes across as shallow with no real actual information. I mean, they definitely could have made it a lot shorter and a lot more like punchy. It is kind of dragging on. It is kind of dragging on. But I think the stuff with the young female teacher, the blonde lady, was pretty egregious. But yeah, it is dragging on. But yeah, private schools, guys. And not every person that went to a private school is a dickhead. A lot of cool people went to private schools. But as a culture, as a whole, you know, it's kind of toxic. It's kind of a bit toxic, and I'm not for it. If private school kids are mean to you, make them cry. Make them cry. I made a kid from Newington College cry once on the train, and I grabbed his bag and pulled it back because he deserved it. He deserved it, and that's what we do. That's what we do. I have to add, I was 14 or 15 at the time. I did not do that as an adult. I did that as a kid. I did that as a child. I was a child. But that's what you get for mouthing off to a public school girl from Western Sydney. You're gonna get. I went all Eshe on him. I did. I stole his shoes. No, that would have been funny though. Imagine if I stole his shoes. They're just not used to like anyone giving it back. And I have two brothers. Like, I know how to make boys cry. It's pretty easy. I'm just thinking, does anyone have anything else they want to watch? Or should it be bedtime? It is work tomorrow. It is a work night. You have to head off? Okay, see you pseudomastics. I think I might head off soon, unless there's anything super interesting, super compelling to get into. Yeah, I think that might be it, guys. It is Monday tomorrow. It is Monday tomorrow. A lot of people living in ivory towers made of glass from private school. They are indeed. They are indeed. Yeah, I think we might call it, guys. Everyone should probably get an early one because it's hard enough to get out of bed on a Monday morning. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be fun. All right, let's go to bed. That sounds like I'm inviting you to go to bed with me. I'm not. Just nobody turn up at my house, please. We'll all go to bed in our beds separately. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.